From takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. As a special deal to celebrate all this week, when you order via Amichis.com, just enter the promo code SAC20 at checkout, and they'll give you 20% off your entire order. So when you want a great deal on pizzas in the Sacramento area this week, use promo code SAC20 at Amichis.com, and Amichis delivers.
5 Star is a highly respected and award-winning community business bank serving clients in the San Francisco Bay Area. We offer highly customized banking services to business owners, nonprofit leaders, and entrepreneurs who want to work with a bank that they can trust. We have exceptional industry expertise, a speed to serve, and commitment to economic development. Above all, we believe in San Francisco. Reach out to us at 5starbank.com.
You deserve the best. With the SiriusXM Platinum VIP plan, you can unlock the ultimate listening experience in up to 2 cars and stream anywhere with 2 app logins. Enjoy our greatest content, opportunities for live VIP experiences, and prioritized customer care. Plus, get access to over 5,000 audio and video concert recordings through nugs.net. Call 844-711-8800 and become a VIP. Offer details apply. Not available in Canada.
Channels from almost every genre and channels created in conjunction with the biggest names in music. Eminem's Shade 45, Pearl Jam Radio, Bruce Springsteen's E Street Radio, and more. Visit www.siriusxm.com/go to sign up online quickly or call 844-711-8800 now. Activate your radio and start listening now.
There you go now.
I think every...
Oh, let's see.
If you've been thinking about buying a home, you need to be in the zone, the home buying zone. You need a game plan to win in this great real estate market. The Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage has all your bases covered. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, purchasing your dream home, refinancing, consolidating debt, or even considering a reverse mortgage, contact the Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage today. They have the lowest closing costs, and they'll close your loan on time, guaranteed, or they'll pay your first mortgage payment. And they even have a 3.5% purchase down payment grant that can get you into a home with little money out of your pocket. It doesn't get more clutch than that, folks. Score big on the biggest purchase of your life. Call Equity Zone Mortgage today at 1-800-772-8624. That's 1-800-772-8624. Or apply online at equityzonemortgage.com and tell them Big C sent you, as heard on the Big C Sports Podcast. License number 018146868.
Rondo Deportes, bonjour, vini vini vici. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to me, and people who love the universe and reparations now. Reparations forever. I love doing that. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers. Hopefully all new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. When you go by and test drive yours, tell them sent you, where the good Lord split you. And hopefully he didn't split you too wide. And then tell them you need some gas money. Actually, gas prices are coming down. If you call $5 coming down, then we'll take that. We'll take whatever we can get. I was talking to friend of mine today. He said he was back on the East Coast in New Jersey. He said, would you believe, Big C, that he paid like $3.50 for gas? I said, how much water did they put in that gas? He said, no, it's cheaper on the East Coast. I said, well, that's a good selling point. It's cheaper on the East Coast, but it's also, that's a good point. Why is it $2 cheaper on the East Coast? Maybe I'm the fool. It's all fair, level war. At the same time, I want to say I love bringing you a Big C Sports podcast because they say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. On a beautiful June the 20th, 2024, I want to say I always produce the show. I direct the topics. I broadcast all the shows. I do all the sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. We could all use more laughter in our life. Gas is $3.50 on the East Coast. California's out of Vulcan mine. We are out of our Vulcan mine, according to Spock on the great Star Trek. And then the commercials are done. The stats are provided. I do the storytelling. I I even do the play-by-play. Mays up to the plate. Bases loaded. The count for the pitch. Curveball swung on here deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Grand slam. It's bye-bye, baby. They're celebrating the Say Hey Kid down in Alabama tonight in Negro League Baseball Stadium. And they have the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the San Francisco Giants, the team that the late, great Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, he played for them, and now they're paying homage to the Say Hey Kid in Alabama, which is where he grew up, if that makes sense to you. And then the show's uploaded to 29 podcast platforms out of New York City and streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. I also want to say I never missed a show since starting Big C Sports back in the days at Salem Media, and now we have people that miss a day in practice. I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about practice. I woke up this morning. I had some extra motivation. I said, Big C, you know, you always talking about doing your podcast, and now we have guys that go from podcast to coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Give that some praise. You mean you don't have to be an assistant coach? You don't have to be a college coach? You don't have to have coached teams in the NBA? They take JJ, not JJ some good times, Dynamite! They took JJ from a broadcasting to make him the head coach of the 17-time world champion Los Angeles Lakers. No coaching experience necessary for the most coveted job, or let me say, the second most coveted job in the history of the NBA basketball universe. No coaching experience. You don't even have to have college coaching experience. Just be somebody's friend. That's what friends are for. I thought they should have kept Hamlin. That's what I thought. I mean, everybody has. Darvin Ham was a great coach, in my opinion. He got them to the Western Conference Finals. They lost to the eventual NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets, last year. This year, they got to run up against that same team again. They just don't match up well. So it doesn't matter who you have on the sideline. You have a coach with no experience. He has zero experience. Zero. But he's still going to get $8 million. You see, all's fair in love and war, but you can have zero experience, and that's good enough for $8 million coaching. That's a fact. I wish them all the best, but I do think that's a bad hire for the LA Lakers. It really is. You would have thought they would have gotten someone that had some NBA coaching experience. This gives every podcaster, it gives us hope. Like Obi-Wan said, you are our last hope. You know, I was hoping Pelinka would have called Big C. I could have coached the LA Lakers. All you got to do is say, LeBron, which play we going to run? LeBron, we down by one with 20 seconds left. What play we going to run, LeBron? You see, that's worth $8 million because that's all J.J. Redick's going to do. He has no experience to call upon. He has no in-game experience to call upon. He has no locker room experience to say, I want winners. I want people who want to win. LeBron say, sit your butt down. I'm the coach. Yes, sir, LeBron. If that's his coaching experience, yes, sir, LeBron. I can say, yes, sir, LeBron. Man, let this strike. I could have said, yes, sir, LeBron. And that's my opinion. I'm thinking with it. They didn't get the great coach Greg Popovich. No, they didn't get him. They didn't get the great coach Steve Kerr. They didn't get him. They didn't even get Monty Williams, who's getting $85 million from Detroit and Phoenix, and both of them fired him. But they hired a guy, and JJ from Good Time? No, not JJ from Good Time. JJ Redick. You know, he's a broadcaster. To go from broadcasting to coaching the LA Lakers, may lightning strike. How does that make sense? LeBron, are you out of your bargain mind? Because that's what they're giving him. $8 million, never coached an NBA team, never drew up an NBA play, never had to motivate somebody. How are they going to go up against the great Mike Brown for the Sacramento Kings, Tyronn Lue for the LA Clippers, Steve Kerr for the Golden State Warriors? How are they going to do that in their own conference? They're going to have J.J. Redick sitting there with a clipboard as if he's the great Phil Jackson, and he's going to be coaching the LA Lakers. That's because of friendship. Here we are celebrating Juneteenth, and they could have had a black man coach the Lakers, and they chose a guy that has no coaching experience. None! Zero! No coaching experience. But that's what happens. Imagine I hear American Airlines is looking for a pilot to fly the friendly skies. And they say no experience necessary. What? You know these planes can have 300 passengers. Oh, that's okay. This guy, he was a podcaster. He don't need no experience. That's what American Airlines said. They want to hire an airline pilot to fly people from sea to shining sea. And they're going to use the LA Lakers platform. We want zero experience. What? What experience do they want, Big C? They want zero experience. Who are they? Are they the friendly skies? Yeah, the airline pilot, the airline company, allegedly, they require zero experience. Who would get on that plane? Well, obviously, LeBron James wants JJ from Good Times. No, not JJ from Good Times. JJ Redick. You know, he was a podcaster. I'm not hating. I'm just saying I'm going to put in my resume to coach an NBA basketball team because I have zero experience. And I'm serious. All I need is $8 million. I'll coach a team. I can say, LeBron, what play we going to run? But that's that man's opportunity, and may opportunity shine. But I feel bad for the Lakers. Joe Mazzulla, you know, he's part of basketball pedigree with the Boston Celtics and won an NBA championship. Congratulations, Boston. And the Lakers said, I'll do them one better. Let's get a guy with zero experience. Does that make sense for the Lakers? Oh, my goodness. I want to say that's why I love saying to the universe. At least I have some experience. I mean, think about it. You just have to be Caucasian. The day after Juneteenth celebration, a white man with no experience gets a job for the LA Lakers, the second most profitable franchise in the NBA, the second winningest franchise in the history of the NBA. The day after Juneteenth, after the Juneteenth celebration, the Lakers announced the hiring of JJ. JJ some good times. No, not JJ some good times. JJ Redick. He's a white guy with no experience. I don't understand it, but that's the way love goes. Janet Jackson told us. The Veterans Crisis Hotline, I love playing that PSA because they really are experienced in helping veterans and their loved ones get help. You do? You say they have to have experience? Yeah, they have experience helping veterans and their loved ones get help. So why don't the Lakers need experience? They do have experience. Saying, LeBron, which coach you want us to hire? How about JJ? See, LeBron is not LeBron's fault. He thought they were getting JJ from Good Times. You know, after Juneteenth, we got to stick together. If LeBron James, the most powerful NBA basketball player in the universe, can call for a man getting a job, wouldn't you know after Juneteenth, he would be a white guy? I say, wouldn't you know after Juneteenth, he'd be a Caucasian guy? Black Lives Matter. We deserve reparations now, reparations forever, with no experience necessary. What did Malcolm X say? By any means necessary. See, they misunderstood. They thought Malcolm X said, no experience necessary. Wow, Veterans Crisis Hotline, 800-273-8255, 800-273-8255, or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And no experience necessary. And we can give it some praise. I say give it praise, because we all need somebody to lean on. We all need some praise. I'm telling you, no experience necessary. What's up with the Lakers? Monty Williams was right there. They just fired him from Detroit. He was also let go from Phoenix. He got Phoenix into the NBA Finals and lost to Milwaukee a couple years ago. They said, that's too much experience. We want a guy with zero experience. And so they went to the guy that was on TV named JJ. Not JJ from Good Times. JJ. That's a fact. They chose it. All's fair and level. Where I got Big C's Major League Baseball power rankings coming up, and I'm going to talk about that also. But I say I'm the leader when it comes to reparations now, reparations forever. I love spreading that message. And would you know, it's catching on. Even the city of Chicago's putting together a task force for reparations. We know that New York State, Governor Kathy Hochul is putting together a task force for reparations. We have a lot of traction, but it takes good people. You people. You got to be a good person to want to follow the law. I'm proposing the Just Act for Descendants of Child Slavery, the JUST Act. Google it, the Just Act for Descendants of Child Slavery. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I love being part of the California reparations. I'll be their biggest bandwagon. You know what? Ironic about the reparations task force compared to the LA Lakers hire? All of their attorneys have experience. They all have experience. Let me say that one more time. All of the lawyers on the California reparations task force, they have experience. May lightning strike. As we're championing for reparations for the descendants of child slavery, a white guy gets a job with the LA Lakers with zero experience. Zero experience. Isn't that something? They fired a black man that got them to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. They hire a white guy with zero experience. If you work hard, you'll get your chance, young man. No experience. No experience necessary. I think they misunderstood Malcolm X's speech. He said, by any means necessary. And what the Lakers brass heard was, no experience necessary. If that makes sense to you. I want to give praise to the California Reparations Task Force because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And they all have experience. I want to start with the experience of the inimitable Dr. Shirley Weber, the Secretary of the State of California. And she worked together with the California Governor, Gavin Newsom. They have experience. I want to also give praise to the task force. They all have experience, by the way. So they could not be a Laker head coach. I want to start with the chair, Camila Moore. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to start with Dr. Amos C. Brown, the vice chair. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. I want to start with the number one senator in the history of the universe, California Senator Stephen Bradford. He has experience. So you know he could not be a Laker head coach. They don't want guys with experience. He helped create name, image, and likeness for college student athletes to get paid on their name, image, and likeness. Not only that, he helped create the Ebony Alert that helps law enforcement put the same amount of resources into finding missing black children as they put into finding missing white children with the Amber Alert. So he has experience doing that. Not only that, he stood in the California State Senate and he talked. He was like Moses when God came down and he told Moses in Exodus 10, he said, go down into Egypt and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. And Moses said, well, who do I tell him sent you? He said, tell him, I am sent you. And that's what Senator Bradford was like when he stood in front of the California State Senate a few weeks ago. And he said, I want you to pass these bills. He said, and the Senate said, what bills? He said, Senate Bill 1331 for funding reparations. I want you to pass Senate Bill 1403 for qualification for reparations. And I want you to pass Senate Bill 1050 for eminent domain with reparations. And the spokesperson said, the Honorable Robert Rivas said, well, who sent you? And Senator Bradford said, he said, I am sent you. By any means necessary. They passed it. They also got it passed through the State Assembly in California. Also, I love giving him praise. He couldn't get a job with the Lakers, though, because he had too much experience. Come on, Lakers. Anyway, as I say, I want to give him praise. I want to give praise to a council member, Monica Montgomery Stepp. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Assembly member Reginald Jones Sawyer. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Shell Grills. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to her attorney, Lisa Holder. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise that she has experience in litigating diversity, equity, and inclusion. With her experience, she would not get a job with the Lakers. They want no experience necessary. None. Zero. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, professor at California, Berkeley. I love giving him praise. I want to give praise to Attorney Donald K. Tamaki, part of the California Reparations Task Force. As a Japanese citizen, his family received reparations from the internment camps, and I love giving them all. I say give them all praise. I say give them all praise, 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 because a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and they deserve the very best of everything. And I just give them a lot of support with the Reparations Task Force. I really do believe that with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. With Big C Sports Podcast, as I can boldly say, I can boldly go where no podcaster has gone before. Like, was into that Star Trek Big C, the USS Enterprise? No, I can boldly go where no podcaster has gone before. How do you do that, Big C? I say reparations now, reparations forever, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I also have a guide, a commercial that I'm working on. It's more like an infomercial, but it's a guide to protect, preserve, and transfer wealth. Resource Development Consulting Incorporated, in conjunction with the law office of Scott Thibodeau and the law office of Attorney George Jones. The Missing Link, Long-Term Care, Solutions by the Book, over 3 decades of experience, helping seniors get their benefits. Medicare and You, taking care of tomorrow in California, is called Medi-Cal. Other places called Medicaid. Your family and spouse can avoid the spend down for nursing home costs. Find out your options, 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624. And we have experience. Unlike getting a head coaching job for the Lakers, where you need zero experience, we offer experience over 33 years. Our promise to you, specialize to navigate and maximize long-term care benefits, protection of your assets without the spend down. With protection of what, BC? I said protection of your assets without the spend down. Is it Aflac? No, Aflac's the duck. It can't protect its own assets. That's why you can walk into a restaurant and order duck, because it needed someone to protect its assets. A little bit better, we protect your assets. All paperwork and communication with all government agencies are handled by a staff of entitlement specialists, ongoing consulting to provide updates as necessary, benefits covering skilled nursing facilities, prescriptions, medical equipment costs, and more. Have you ever known anyone to deal with skilled nursing facilities? Have you ever known anyone to deal with medical prescriptions? Have you ever known anyone to deal with medical equipment costs? And more. Not only that, protection of your assets. Protection of what, Big C? You ever need someone to protect your assets? We do that with the RDC team. It's not an easy thing to do, because some people, they keep moving their assets around. But you need to have it moved into a trust, with a will and a trust, and that really helps you if that makes sense to you. I hope that makes sense to you. Including your home, thereby allowing you to leave a legacy for your family, avoiding the nightmare of debt brought by the government's estate recovery program called probate. And you bet your assets. If you walk into the court, if you don't have a will and trust in place, they're going to come after all your assets, if that makes sense to you. And the judges love when you don't have asset protection. But they will make you pull your pants up in the court of law. We have a one-time processing fee versus monthly insurance premiums for the rest of your life. Give that some praise. I say give that some praise, praise, praise. Not only that, asset protection. Insurance coverage required by law, general liability, workers' compensation, lawyers specializing in living trust, Medicaid or Medi-Cal planning for long-term care, avoid probate, life insurance, veterans benefits, aid and attendance, pre-planning, and avoid the look-back period. It protects your fixed assets like your bank account, your checking account, savings account, money market account, certificates of deposit, life insurance with cash values, fixed indexed annuities. It protects your variable assets, real estate, qualified money, IRA, 401ks, other investments. Not only that, avoid capital gains. Let's say you buy a house for $100,000, and then in 1 year it appreciates to $1 million. According to some real estate brokers, they say what they got to say to make a sale nowadays. That's a $900,000 capital gains. You avoid that when the property's in a trust. Over 3 decades of experience, so you know we can't get a job with the LA Lakers, because experience matters. Attention business owners, find out your other options to protect what your insurance does not cover. 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624. And when you do, you want to give it some praise. I say give it praise, 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 because we all need somebody to lean on, and it's nice leaning on somebody when you're getting praised. But not only that, I want to say what I oftentimes say. If someone says, do business with me, you want to ask a simple question. Well, who else has done business with you? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we have some of the greatest endorsements in the universe. Not only that, we have the endorsement of attorney Scott Thibodeau, one of the top estate planners in Northern California. We have the endorsement of attorney George Jones. He's the chairman of the California Black Chamber of Commerce, also the California Black Chamber of Commerce Foundation. We have Mr. Leon Woods with Resource Development Consulting, also works with many of the top lobbyists in California. Not only that, we have Miss Cheryl Brown. She's the California Chair Commission on Aging, if that makes sense to you. You can't get much higher than that. Not only that, we have Mr. Ray Dela Cruz, the CEO of Resource Development Consultant, had the endorsement of the former CalPERS top legal mind, the top Robert Carlson. That's a great endorsement. Not only that, we have Mr. Alex De La Cruz. He's the founder of American Veteran Benefits. Not only that, we have Charlton Curry, the co-chair of the National Black Wall Street Project. Also, consultant with RDC. Also, owner of Big C Sports Podcast. Not only that, we have Double O. She's part of the payout committee for the National Black Wall Street Project. Also, not only that, she's a consultant with the RDC team. Not only that, has her own economics awareness talk show called Let's Eat. You can hear it on Access Sacramento. You can Google that if that makes sense to you. You can give it all praise. I say give it all praise, praise, praise. Not only that, we love coming to you and giving you the help that you need. 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I love, before I get into sports, there's a lot going on down in Alabama, Birmingham. They're celebrating Negro League Baseball and paying homage to the late Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. Also, they're taking on the St. Louis Cardinals, and it's a small stadium, but it's how Willie Mays got started back in the Negro Leagues before Major League Baseball came in. And I believe this, my great-grandfather played Negro League Baseball, but with Jackie Robinson being recruited by the Major Leagues, he didn't have to go, but they offered a lot more money and an easier life path. And I believe some of those good boys told the banks, don't do loans with the Negro Leagues. And it ended up folding because they could not keep up with all the money that was needed to run the league. I wish there would have been a better way, but when you have to go outside of your neighborhood, they did this in Jim Crow when it was hard to get a loan. The Negro League did not benefit from the Homestead Act that gave white Americans over 300 million acres of land, and even white Europeans. And the GI Bill, obviously, that went to white soldiers only. So they had a hard time getting loans to keep the Negro Leagues going. But I want you to hear a great speaker why they should have gotten those loans.
Luther King, we had a conversation a couple days ago about handouts and how these right-wing memes, these Republican memes, have infiltrated the Democratic debate to suggest that, ending welfare as we know it, all those kind of things are somehow, great and noble things, when we're not dealing with the underlying problem, which is that there's no economic opportunity there because of insane trade policies and because of Reaganomics. And Martin Luther King spoke to this. Jim and Shane, this is clip number 4. Martin Luther King spoke to this sometime back in the early 60s. And I thought this was a really interesting quote. Here he is.
The problem. At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. And this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
From his speech, The Two Nations of Black America. And it's absolutely brilliant. And the next time some white person talks about, well, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and my family did too, especially the Bundy boys. I mean, here's Martin Luther King, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., talking about how basically whites stole the West from the Indians with and didn't just steal it. I mean, murdered them murdered the Indians in the process, and did not give any of these benefits to African Americans for 100 years in this country. It's a strong case for reparations or some variation on it, for rebuilding our cities, for doing right after having done wrong for so many centuries. It is a very, very strong case for that.
May land is strike! Reparations now, reparations forever. They're going to talk about baseball in the South. They want to pay homage to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and they want to pay homage because Alabama, they're down in Alabama, you hear about the speech, and they want to pay homage to the late Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. But you know what they won't talk about? In Alabama, where they have a museum that shows African Americans hanging. They have these plaques that hang from the ceilings, symbolic of what happened during slavery. They will not talk about reparations now, reparations forever. They won't do it. They're going to go down there to Alabama. They're going to tell you at Rickwood Field how they love celebrating the Negroes and how the Negroes play sports. How the Negroes can run touchdown, home run, three-point play. Oh, man, Willie, he's going all the way. Runners on first and third. They count for the pitch. Come on, shrug on, hit knee, left field, back to the wall, home run. The Say Hey Kid, say hello to my little friends. And they can honor really what happened to the descendants of child slavery by paying homage to reparations. That's the biggest movement in this country. But mainstream, they're going to run from it, and they're going to talk about how we play with balls. And that's just part of life. I wish they would champion reparations, and I'm doing it as Big C Sports, so I put my money where my mouth is. Birmingham, Alabama. You heard Dr. King talk about it in the past. Think about it.
Willie Mays has passed away at the age of 93.
One of the greatest players in the history of our game has passed away at the age of 93. He was born here in Alabama, got his start in this very ballpark, thrilled generations of baseball fans with his brilliant play, and we will always cherish the memory and life of the great Willie Mays.
Think about Birmingham legends, especially from that side of town. If we're talking about him growing up literally 2 miles from where Bo Jackson will eventually develop his skills, it's a sad day as well for the state of Alabama. But I think that the inception of this week was to be a celebration, and I think as best we can, at least I know here in Birmingham, we're going to try and keep it that. And we're also going to celebrate the people who were there, who got through the door after people like Willie Mays came through. But this is absolutely gut-wrenching, and my heart goes out to his entire family. I just spoke with his son, Michael, 2 innings ago.
Reparations now, reparations forever. I love talking about reparations. I just do. It's in my spirit. It's the right thing to do, and I know not everybody's going to do that because we're taught to celebrate the athletic prowess of the Negro. But at the same time, through all the adversity and all of the Jim Crow, we still rise and shine. Now we just need the law on our side. We can do anything. When you think about success and achievement as African Americans, for the most part, the country was anti-African American, even though we fought in every war, and we still rise and shine. We love this country and simply want the same thing that the Just Act created. What's the Just Act? Let's see. Google it. J-U-S-T-A-C-T. 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 We need that for descendants of child slavery. And you can give that some praise. Give it praise, praise, praise. So I love doing that with Big C Sports Podcast. I also love paying homage to the fact that so many people, good people, you people, have done everything possible to make sure that life is fair, full of liberty and justice for all. But also we ask the Almighty God of the universe to answer our prayers, to open up that favor that we get through prayer and manifestation, also called meditation. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I just want to say, no matter what you think about opportunities in this great country, there are a lot of them. And I love helping create opportunities. But that doesn't mean that you sit silent and let things go by without being adjudicated and spoken on by people. I want to, before I get into Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings, I want to just wish everybody the greatest success in life. I really do appreciate all the opportunities that I have with Big C Sports Podcast. And when I tell God, I'm serious, I want that $6 billion. So I can start my own sports leagues. $6 billion maybe not enough to start a sports league, but it's enough to start a team. I have experience. No experience. The great JJ, now the head coach of the LA Lakers. That's all fair and love and war. If he can get it, he can get it. Nothing wrong with that. I want to just say, when it comes down to sports, we love what's going on with the integration of Major League Baseball and Negro League Baseball stats, even though it meant that they colluded in destroying the Negro Leagues. That's my opinion, and I will always believe in that because my great-granddaddy played Negro League Baseball, and he talked about they couldn't stay in any hotel they wanted. They couldn't do that. They were told, pull yourself up by your own bootstrap. You heard Dr. King talk about that earlier. They couldn't eat any restaurant they wanted. You heard Dr. King say that. They said, pull yourself up by your own bootstrap. I know you fought for this country, but you're not going to get the GI Bill, and you did not get the Homestead Act. But pull yourself up by your own bootstrap. Isn't God great? What if the Almighty God of the universe will start answering all the prayers that are put out there by people who deserve it? All's fair in love and war. The book of James, chapter 4, verse 2 said, you have not because you ask not. I'm asking for $6 billion. And I'm doing another Big C Sports Podcast. I want to do a lot with that money, and it's going to happen. I want to say, back by popular demand, I know it's baseball season. The LA Lakers hired a guy with no experience necessary. But I do have experience. I got my thoughts, and it's just my opinion, and everybody has one on Big C Sports Podcast. I like giving my thoughts all over the universe. When it comes to Major League Baseball, I know they're down in Alabama, where they'll say nothing about reparations, but they do have a lynching, hanging museum. To me, that's a little bit odd. Don't you think it's a little bit odd? We can even celebrate slavery by having a museum that shows plaques hanging from the ceilings for lynchings. And we celebrate our great athletes, but zero talk of reparations. And we're Major League Baseball. Most of the audience down in Birmingham, they're Caucasian people. Good people. The same people that should be championing reparations. That's my opinion. It used to be a Negro League where only Negroes and African Americans could go see you play ball. Now the park is mostly white fans. The same fans that wouldn't go when they had the Negro Leagues. I'm not saying these people per se, but that's how the country developed. What a shame. And now we're supposed to say, let's not talk about reparations. Let's just celebrate a great man because he played ball. Willie Mays had the same crap growing up that a lot of other people are facing even to this day. With poverty, not being able to get loans from banks, not having land and property bequeathed down from past generations. White society got a head start. A 300 million acre land called the Homestead Act. They gave them land. That land is still there. They didn't give it to African Americans. And they say, keep pulling yourself up by your bootstrap. And someday you won't need experience to get a job with the LA Lakers too. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I got Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. Let's get ready to rumble. I got number 10 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. I got the Minnesota Twins. Those good old boys. They have a great team. Don't look now, but the great Carlos Carrera. He's stitching together his best offensive season since 2019. After a down 2023, the shortstop has been on a tear lately. He's won 17 for 28 with 3 home runs over his previous 6 games. And that's why I'm telling you, I got Minnesota, the Twins, and the Twin City, Minneapolis, St. Paul as number 10 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. They're paying homage to the Negro Leagues down in Alabama, but they won't talk reparations. Well, that's my story. I'm taking with it. I got number 9 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. The Kansas City Royals. Runners on first and third. The count's full. The pitch. Curveball. Swung on. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. I love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep. The Royals' early season surge, it topped out with a win on May 25th that put them 15 games over 500. And then they had a downturn. They may have reached this nadir in a 7-5 loss to the Oakland A's on June 18th. But now they're starting to swing the bat, and I think they'll swing the bat and get back in contention. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I got number 8 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. Runners on first and third. They count for the pitch. Curveball. Swung on. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. I love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep. Like the say-head kid was always hitting deep when he played for the Giants and the Mets. The Braves are suddenly scrambling in the outfield, a scenario that suddenly resembles 2021 manager Brian Snitker, and said that Harris will be out a long time. In the meantime, Jared Kelenic, he'll move over from center field, and he has experience from there. He has experience from there, his days in Seattle. I think when you look at a team like the Atlanta Braves, my goodness, the great Ronald Acuña Jr. out again this year. He was injured early in the year. I just wish he could stay healthy. Such a great player. Love watching him run, and we love watching him run. Look at how fast he runs. Isn't that something? They want to acknowledge how fast we run, but only Big C Sports will acknowledge reparations now, reparations forever, even if he runs fast. I want to say number 7 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. Runners on first and third. That counts for the pitch. Curveball. Swung on. Hit deep. Center field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. I love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep. The Seattle Mariners this season, the Mariners may be making a historical connection to the other team in the 1906 World Series, the 2001 Mariners, already permanently linked to one of those teams, the 1906 Cubs, thanks to their top of the all-time leaderboards for single-season wins, 116. Like those Mariners, in 1906, the Cubs did not win the World Series after the record-setting season, but the Mariners, they're doing a good job swinging the bat. That's why I have them at number 7 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings from the Pacific Northwest. I have number 6 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. The Milwaukee Brewers, runners on first and third. They counts for the pitch. Fastball, swung on, hit deep. Center field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. In Milwaukee, the Brewers have won games with their baseball bats all season long, but their gloves have been just as impressive as well. The latest example came from the center fielder Blake Perkins, and he's doing his thing this past Sunday and Tuesday, respectively. First, Perkins threw out the tying run at the plate to preserve a 5-4 win over the Reds. All's fair in love and war. Isn't it great the way people run? They love watching us run fast, and so do I love watching us run fast. We gotta run. Sometimes we gotta run faster. Gotta run faster in the world of Major League Baseball, especially if you're going to get into Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. But I like what they're doing. The Brew Crew in Milwaukee, they're doing their thing, and that's why I want to pay homage to them. And not only that, number 5 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings, runners on first and third. They count for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep. Center field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. I love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep. You got the great Cleveland Guardians, used to be called the Indians, but because they changed some things, they wanted to fix things, like reparations will fix things. They changed names to not insult a race of people or a group of people. Do the same thing for descendants of the chattel slavery. The great Daniel Sneedman has given the offense a nice boost since he's called up. He's batting .333 in his first 12 games with 4 extra base hits and 6 RBIs, all while starting at 5 different positions. That good boy plays center field, third base, shortstop, second base, and right field. He's 27 years old, a 33rd round pick in 2018 out of BYU, Brigham Young University. It's been a slow and unexpected trek in the majors, but he never hit much more better than he's hitting. He never hit much more better than he did now. He has more experience, so he couldn't get a job with the LA Lakers. But that good boy since coming up from the AAA, he's been doing his thing. I got. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Now I got number 4 in Big C's, Major League Baseball Power Rankings. Now, it's my story, and I'm sticking with it. People don't always agree. I got runners on first and third. That counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep. Right field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. I got number 4, the Baltimore Orioles. The great Jackson Holiday's return to the majors hit a speed bump last week when he landed on the AAA's in Norfolk, Illinois, with right elbow inflammation, called up for his big league debut on April 10. To much fanfare, the consensus top-ranked prospect, he went 2 for 34 with 2 strikeouts. That's not good. 2 walks, 18 strikeouts in 10 games before being sent back to the minors. They said he need more experience. That's what they said. So he couldn't get a job with the Lakers. They don't like you when you have experience. That's my story, and I'm taking with it. I got number 3 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. And I'm going to tell you, it's my opinion, and I'm going to tell you my opinion counts. My opinion counts because of my opinion. And as a champion for reparations, I want you to follow my opinion on Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. I have number 3 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. Runners on first and third. That counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep. Right field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. I love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep. You got to have the LA Dodgers. In my opinion, I got the number 3. They'll be tested far sooner than anyone would have imagined. Over the weekend, with one of their 2 best pitchers, Yamamoto suffered a rotator cuff strain, and one of their best 3 hitters, the great Mookie Betts, fractured his left hand, and both will be out for several weeks. And though neither ailment is considered season-ending, the LA Dodgers from Chavez Ravine, a team that's had a lot of injuries and workload questions throughout his rotation and was struggling to get production from the bottom half of his lineup. Now, unlike the LA Lakers, Dave Roberts has a lot of experience as manager. You don't need experience to coach the LA Lakers. They want 0 experience, if that makes sense, yeah. But back to the LA Dodgers up at Chavez Ravine. The bottom half of his lineup would need others to step up, and it might not impact the Dodgers' chances of once again winning the National League West, given the National League West a little bit mediocre right now this time of the year, but I'm telling you, it could get better in a few more months, especially with the San Francisco Giants trying to dedicate the remainder of their season to the Say Hey Kid and the late, great Willie Mays, if that makes sense to you. I'm not done yet. You want to protect your assets? You got to have some guys who can hit the bat to get the ball out of the yard when they call going yard like the Say Hey Kid. I got number 2 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. I got runners on first and third. That counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep. Center field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. I love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep. I got to go with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies pitching has had a couple of hiccups lately, losing 2 of 3 in both Boston and Baltimore last week. The great Zach Wheeler, he had a rough outing against the Orioles, giving up 4 home runs in 8 runs over 4 1/3 innings, the first time he's ever allowed 4 home runs in a game, and tied for second most runs he's allowed. The great Aaron Nola had a similar rough start against the Boston Red Sox. He allowed 11 hits and 8 runs in 3 2/3 innings. Coach, pull him out. Throw in the towel, what they say, Rocky. Throw in the towel, Coach. Throw in the towel. He doesn't have enough experience. If that makes sense, yeah. But he did bounce back Tuesday against the Padres, allowed 4 hits and 3 runs in 6 innings. You know, it's easy to criticize, and I'm not trying to criticize the LA Lakers. They got the 17 championships, but something's up when you hire a guy with no experience to coach the second most winningest franchise in NBA basketball. But that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I got back to Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. I got number 1 in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. Runners on first and third. The counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep like the say hey kid. The New York Yankees are Big C's Major League Baseball number 1 team in the universe. It's been quite a week for the Yankees. Not a good one. The great Anthony Rizzo. He fractured his right forearm Sunday in a loss to the Boston Red Sox and will miss at least 8 weeks. 2 days later, after Rizzo and 2 pitchers were placed on injured list, the great Aaron Judge, he exited in a win over the Orioles. When he was hit by a pitch on his left hand, Judge, unlike Rizzo, received good news, no structural damage. That's good. At the same time, on Wednesday, Garrett Cole made his season debut after being diagnosed with nerve inflammation in his right elbow. He needs some more turmeric. I hear turmeric is good to get rid of that inflammation in those elbows, if that makes sense to you. He did that in March, going 4+ innings while giving up 2 runs, 3 hits, and 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk through it all. The Yankees hold on to the best record in the Major League Baseball universe. And Latin strike. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings. It may not please everybody, but I'm trying to be fair as can be. I love the fact that you have the Yankees making some noise in Big C's Major League Baseball Power Rankings, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and we don't want to waste anybody's mind. I love doing the best I can with my picks, and hopefully, just hopefully down the road, they'll come true. With experience. Congratulations to the LA Lakers. You've hired somebody with no experience. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I wanna close out today's show with Big C's Sports. I gotta talk about the great Tiger Woods. And when you think about Tiger Woods, I think he's the greatest golfer in the history of the universe. People say, what about the great Jack Nicklaus? Jack didn't have to do his thing through Jim Crow and all the racist vitriol that Tiger Woods had to put up with, even in the 2000s, as he was climbing that ladder. And people know that's true. But Tiger Woods has been granted a special exemption for signature events. And when you think about it, it's a good thing. Tiger Woods turned down the LIV money from Saudi Arabia. I would have taken that money. They gave Phil Mickelson $200 million. And he's not even the best golfer in the world. Tiger is. But Tiger Woods, the future decided as PGA Tour votes on new rules for golf legend, and the board approved a lifetime achievement exemption category that will allow the great Tiger Woods to compete in all 8 of next season's signature events, and he deserves it. Nobody has been better at golf than Tiger Woods, and better for golf than Tiger Woods. And I'm going to let you hear it in a golfer's thoughts.
Tiger Woods' future decided as PGA Tour votes on new rule for golf legend. Tiger Woods has been granted access to all signature events after the PGA Tour Policy Board approved a new lifetime achievement exemption category created specifically for him. The 8 signature events, which each possess hefty prize purses and reduced fields, have been a topic of heated discussion in the inaugural running of the PGA Tour's new schedule. Among the many issues that golf fans have raised during the system's debut season is which players are allowed to compete in the premier tournaments. What?
May lightning strike. I want to talk to the champion. Reparations now. Reparations forever. Reparations forever. I love saying reparations forever. Well, he's going to get the exemption, and he did do what he could to avoid the money. I think LIV offered him $1 billion. He said, I already have $1 billion. I wish I could say I already have $1 billion. Thank you, sir. Bam. Whoever wants to give Big C $1 billion or a job coaching the LA Lakers, I have no experience with $1 billion, but I'll learn fast. I'm a fast learner. I've been told I'm a really fast learner. Give me $1 billion. They say all you got to do is spend the money. What? Of course I'm going to spend the money. And I'm also going to invest. I'm going to invest in reparations now. Reparations forever. That's my story. You have to think with it. Of course I'm going to invest. Well, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. I appreciate the celebration of Negro League Baseball and the Say Hey Kid, the great Willie Mays down in Alabama. I really wish, I think they missed the mark by not championing reparations. They know how life was down in the South and how it still is. If they could follow California Governor Gavin Newsom, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, and California Secretary of State, the inimitable Dr. Shirley Weber, they can do it. Let's just stop shucking and jiving about celebrating that the guy can hit home runs and run fast. I run fast! Everybody runs fast at some point in time. But hopefully our lawmakers can get together to do the right thing. Follow California. What happens in California is sweeps the nation. There are a lot of brilliant black minds, beautiful, intelligent African-American minds, and other people too. There's some good white people that are working to get reparations passed. As they say, reparations now, reparations forever. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you on every Big C Sports podcast, I love paying homage to my beautiful family legacy. On my mother's side, my great-grandparents, Mama and Pop, my grandparents, Muddy and Hezekiah, they were seers, and that can always depend on my mama, the most beautiful mama in the history of the universe. Started a Head Start program, a food program, also coaching all-boys Little League baseball team to the championship of the universe. Always saying, rise and shine, the best person I ever met in my life. I love my mama with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. On my father's side, my grandparents, Albert and Alberta Curry, they were pastors. They had 3 churches. They also owned 2 gas stations in Oakland. I remember walking to the hallway at 8 o'clock at night. I was 8 years old. I felt someone touched me on my forehead. She said, "What are you doing, young man? Going to get some more cookies?" I said, "What are you doing up, Grandma? It's 10 o'clock at night. You normally go to bed at 8:30. She said, "What are you doing, young man? Going to get some cookies?" I said, "Cookies are baby crap, but I'm doing, Grandma. I'm going to get my reparations." And a couple of cookies wouldn't hurt. It's been a long time. The Just Act. It's been a long time. I love them with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then my beautiful father, the former United States Air Force fighter pilot, chief mechanic, always making sure that planes can fly high so we can all stay safe at night. Always develop your mind to its highest extent. Oh, really love my dad with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. At the same time, I love my beautiful brother Todd with that bombastic voice, sound like thunder and lightning when Thomas speak. A voracious reader, always saying go forward. He always say, don't look back. There's not much in the backside because you got to keep going forward. There are times when I said, I like my backside, but he said I had a small backside. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. I like my backside. Love Todd with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then my beautiful daughter, Daisy, the most beautiful daughter in the history of the universe. College graduate, 2 degrees with honors in 3.5 years from a major university. Daisy could be anything you want to be. She said at the very first interview for Big C Sports Podcast back at Salem Media. And that's the first time in the history of the United States that NFL Monday Night Football started broadcasting live on the Wall Street Business Network because we had experience. And now, they would normally go to ESPN. Daisy always trusts God, Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon formed against you will prosper. You can be anything you want to be. I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. My beautiful, handsome son, Malcolm, the most handsome son in the history of the universe. College graduate, very smart, erudite, a good man, erudite man. Malcolm helped me save trees. I used to always get newspapers to look up stats on players and teams for Big C Sports Podcast. One day Malcolm said, "Dad, why don't you just Google it?" And a light bulb went off. I've been Googling ever since. Now on 29 podcast platforms, streaming on 4 TV applications: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. You can be anything you want to be, Malcolm, and you know you can. One day Malcolm said, Dad, do you want to see Big C Sports on TV? I said, sure. He said, pick up the remote, aim it at the TV and say, play Big C Sports. You'll see your show come up. That's before it was even on the air. Now it's streaming on 4 TV platforms, Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. Always trust God, Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon formed against will prosper. That's my story. I'm taking with it. And then Big C, with all that wealth and knowledge over the years, always saying you got to believe, you got to believe, you got to believe, saying let's get ready to rumble. I love saying welcome to the show. It's nominated Big C Sports Podcast. I have no scripts. I have no 3-way teleprompters. I have no producer in my ear. But I have this gland in the brain called the pineal gland. The ancients called it the third eye. They say that's how you talk to God. And that's why I scream so loud, because I'm trying to reach God. I want $6 billion, God. I want it now. And I mean it. I really do mean it, God. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you on every Big C Sports podcast, if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. Because mothers against drunk drivers are mad, and fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. You can call Uber, you can call Lyft, you can walk it off, you can sleep it off, but don't let someone you love start drinking and get behind the wheel of a car, start driving. The life you say may be your own, or somebody that you love, or somebody that loves the other person that you may injure. So that's my story, and I'm taking with it. Well, as I tell you, my beautiful mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that crap on their own. If somebody's slapping you, I only slapped you because it made me mad. Call 911. If somebody's kicking you, I only kicked you because it made me mad. If somebody's choking you out, I only choked you because it made me mad. Call 911. No man, woman, or child should ever have to put up with that crap. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, as I say, back in the day, there's a man known by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He's known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, and you sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. He said, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Ali said, I'm so pretty, I can't possibly be beat. And every time I listen to Big C Sports, I want to champion reparations now, reparations forever. And then I float like a butterfly, and I sting like a bee, and I rumble, young man, rumble. Well, that's my story, and I stick it with it. Now we want a champion with all those baseball players down in Alabama. You want a champion at the baseball game? As you celebrate the Negro Leagues, you want a champion reparations now? Reparations forever. You got to say it louder than that. You champion baseball, it's time to champion reparations now? Reparations forever. Say it with your heart, mind, body, and soul. Reparations now, reparations forever. I thank you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a super fantastic day.